on the vlog again. Just can't wait to do a vlog again. The life I love is making vlogs for my friends, and I can't wait to do a vlog again. Doing a vlog again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. And I can't wait to do a vlog again. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Top Vloggers. As always, I am High and Mighty Joe. We are here today at a Trump Caucus rally. This should be a fun and exciting time. I'm asking you to come along with me. So let's get going.
Whatever. You know what's funny is and it was like this. And I thought quite honestly, that's not serving a purpose.
Leo. She's the spokesperson for Fox News. Oh yeah, they get it. He gets it. These guys, very sharp individuals. Very sharp.
Flag called Leo 2.0.
Well, it is 1 o'clock, and we are just waiting on President Trump right now. His motorcade has pulled in, so it should be just a moment or two.
All of you for coming today. You know, he called me at 9 o'clock last night and said, "You're speaking tomorrow." And I just want to thank you. We did not expect 5,000 patriots. Thank you. So, hello, Trump warriors. Hello, patriots. Hello, deplorables. You know what the definition of deplorable is? Real Americans who love God, country, family, and President Donald J. You know the definition of a Democrat politician in D.C.? Corrupt, radical, Marxist traitors who have sold out our country to the highest bidders. China, Ukraine, the Mexican drug cartels, and Big Pharma. You know the definition of a racist? Anyone winning an argument with a Democrat. You know the definition of Joe Biden? Weak, feckless, old man with dementia and diapers, who is a puppet for the real president of the United States, Barack Obama. You know the definition of Barack Obama? The real Marxist president of the United States, hiding in the shadows, hiding in his D.C. mansion, steps to the White House, calling the shots since the rigged, stolen 2020 election. To intentionally destroy America, our schools, and our healthcare system, and our great American middle class. How do I know that? Because Barack Obama was my college classmate, Columbia University, 1979 through 1983, where we learned the plan to destroy America called Cloward Pivot. What is the definition of a hero? Well, first of all, Donald J. Trump. But right now, at this moment, my definition of a hero is the state of Texas. We are all Texans now. I talked about this in my Real America's Voice TV show this morning. It's called America's Top 10 Countdown. It was my #1 story. I say to Texas 3 words: stand your ground. And tell Biden and the federal government and the Supreme Court to pound sand. Now, we all agree that government sucks. My hero Ronald Reagan said, The 9 worst words in the English language. I'm for the government and I'm here to help us. Drop everything. This is our mission. This is our gift from God. This is the moment of our lives. We are blessed to have this moment. This is why we were born. This is a 9-month run for the history buffs. Be relentless. Be tenacious. Fight like cornered Wolverines. Attack like General George Patton. We will never accept defeat. Never. We will never, ever give up because of our love of America. Because this is the battle for the ages. A battle inspired by God. A battle to save the greatest nation in world history ever blessed by God. And I will fight to the last minute, to my last dollar, to my last breath. I will give you my country when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. Will you? God bless Las Vegas. God bless America. And God bless the 45th and 47th President of the United States. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
outside trying to get it. So if anybody wants to leave, does anybody volunteer to leave now? Close to 3,000 people outside trying to get in town. So thank you very much, and thank you, Michael. I'm thrilled to be back in Las Vegas with thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what we are. As you know, 2 weeks ago in Iowa, we had a great time in Iowa. 40 degrees below zero. We won the Iowa caucuses by the largest margin in the history of the caucus. either party. It's never happened in the entire history of the New Hampshire primary. Got the most votes ever gotten by anybody. That's a good sign. And I'm glad that the first non-incumbent, and remember this, look at this, in either party to win both. Think of this, Iowa and New Hampshire. We won both parties. And now we're going to have an even bigger victory right here in Nevada. Perhaps the most astounding of all is we achieved our monumental victory in New Hampshire despite the fact that more than 50% of the voters were not even Republican, you know? They were Democrats and independent. That was the setup, and we still won by a record margin. Over 70% of the votes cast. Oh, wow. I didn't even hear this. Did you hear this? 70% of the votes cast for Nikki Haley. Did anybody ever hear it? You know, the Republican Party wanted to nominate me and just say skip the whole thing, and we're just going to give you our nomination. I said, don't do that. Don't do that. I want to win it the fair way. But over 70% of the votes cast for Nikki Haley on Tuesday were brought about, came from outside of the Republican Party. They came from outside. She got about 24%, 25% Republican votes because they had liberals interfering on behalf. They had Democrats voting. They had everybody voting, and we still won by a lot. The voters of our party is clear. It's time to finish this primary and get going and defeating. And you remember this. We all call it a primary, but I like calling it a caucus because it really is. Your primary vote doesn't mean anything. It's your caucus vote. So in your state, you have both a primary and you have a caucus. Don't worry about the primary, just do the caucus. Thank you. We're going to go on to defeat crooked Joe Biden, and we're going to very simply make America great again.
Yo, it's going to be on YouTube later.
Don't
Put your
waste
votes in.
time on primary. Waste all of your time on caucus. And the primary doesn't mean anything. It's psychologically maybe a little bit, about 2%, but it doesn't mean anything. With the help of everyone here today, we're going to secure a gigantic win in the Nevada caucuses on Thursday. So it's Thursday, February 8th, right around the corner this November. And we do want to get a good vote. We're not going to have a lot of competition, I think, but it doesn't matter. We want to get a great, beautiful mandate. And this November, we're going to win the swing state of Nevada. You ever heard of We're going to keep the House, and we're going to take back the Senate. And we're going to also take back that beautiful, isn't it one of the most beautiful places in the world? The White House. And victory cannot come soon enough. Under crooked Joe Biden, our country is dying. Our country is dying. Our borders open and gushing. It's a big gushing wound, letting drugs, crime, and millions upon millions of illegal aliens pour into our country like we've never seen before. Nothing like this has ever happened to our country before. It's also the #1 place on earth for a thing called human trafficking. #1 place. Our border has become a weapon of mass destruction, our destruction. You know, it's ours. It's a weapon of mass destruction. It's our destruction. We're destroying our country. And as I've been saying for so many years, this is an invasion. It's an invasion of our country. On behalf of all Americans who want a strong and secure border, I want to express our thanks to Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Caucus. In the great state of Texas, where we right now have a 40-point lead, for rightly invoking the invasion clause of the U.S. Constitution. It is an invasion. But we didn't need to do it just 3 years ago. We didn't need anybody's help because we had the safest border in U.S. history 3 years ago. We didn't need anybody's help. Today we have a catastrophe waiting to happen. It's a terrible situation. Never had anything like it before. It's the worst border anywhere history of the world, and I believe that includes other countries. There's never been a country where millions and millions of people are able to flow in with no vetting, no checking, no nothing. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they come from. They're pouring into our country, and they're coming from prisons. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're human traffickers. They're coming in. They're drug dealers. They're coming in. We have no idea, and we have no idea what we're doing with our country. Our country's going to hell because of incompetent or bad people. Terrorists are pouring in unchecked from all over the world. We have more terrorists now. In 2019, I never really believed this fully, but I know we did a good job on it. In 2019, remember, they said they had no terrorists. They do these checks. I don't know. None sounds like something Trump would say, to be honest. They say, no, only Trump would say. They actually have it down. It's a report, and it says none. And then the following 2 years later, they have record number of terrorists now pouring into our same report, record number of terrorists coming into our country. And there's a 100% chance that there will be a major terrorist attack in the United States, or many attacks maybe. And it's all because of what's happened over the last 3 years. When I'm president, instead of trying to send Texas a restraining order, I will send them reinforcements.
That's right.
Military and law enforcement resources. It's not even believable. You know, usually you like to know the other side, and you like to know where the other side's coming from. Nobody to this day can explain why this open wound is good for our country. And even politically, why is it good politically? First of all, with the Hispanic vote, we're doing better now than and they're going to seal the border, complete it, and we're going to repeal the invasion. You know, remember that in 2016 when I campaigned, everybody remembers that, we had a very bad border. Nothing like today. And I solved the problem. Then when I ran in 2020, and by the way, got the most votes in the history of any president, sitting president, running for president. We got the most votes. We got more votes than any other sitting president. Think of that. But we had a campaign, and we did great in that campaign. Frankly, we did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016, but something happened. Not going to happen this time. Something happened. Bad things happened, but anyway. But I didn't have the border to run on, because I did such a good job with the border that the border wasn't an issue. And I went backstage to all of my people. I said, I want to talk about the border. Sir, nobody cares about the border. You solved the problem. I said, so I did such a good job, I took it out of play. And now I'm saying the border is in play like it's never been in play before, because what they've done is they've taken all of the things that I did to make it so good. Literally, we couldn't put it in a speech. Nobody wanted to hear about the border. We had no border problem. We had the strongest border we've ever had in history. But now we can talk about the border because it's never, ever been worse than it is now. I don't think any border in the entire world has ever been worse. Third world countries would fight with sticks and stones to keep people out in that kind. That's incredible. I believe that the number by the end of the Biden administration will be close to 18 million people. That's bigger than New York State. I believe that's going to be the real number. That's the real number. 18 million people. And who does it hurt the worst? African Americans and Hispanics. It hurts the Hispanics and the African Americans first. And when you look at the poll numbers, how well we're doing with Hispanics and African Americans, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They're a little concerned, the Democrats on the left. It was just announced that 302,000 illegal aliens trespassed across our border last month. 302,000. That's an all-time, by the way, that's an all-time record. There's never been a number like that. Last month, 302,000. That's bigger than most cities in our country. Yet unbelievably, rather than helping Texas to build our border security up, Crooked Joe Biden is fighting Texas to tear our beautiful border security down. They're cutting all the wire. Let's cut the wire, let everybody in. No, they want open borders. They could have solved, in 3 weeks, I would have been able to get another 150 miles of wall up. Think of that. All they had to do, the wall was there. All they had to do was put it up. It was all set to be put up. And you know what they did? They sold it for 5 cents on the dollar. They sold it as scrap. They want to have open borders, and you're going to remember that come November. And now they're trying to blame anybody that they can. They're going to blame your great Lieutenant Governor who's here. I appreciate it. We're going to keep this. They're going to blame you. They're going to blame the governor. They're going to blame me. They're going to blame everybody. They're going to blame Leo. They're going to blame Leo. Leo can handle it. But let there be no doubt, what Joe Biden is doing is a crime against our nation. It's an absolute betrayal of our country, and it's an atrocity against our Constitution. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Crooked Joe will not get away with these crimes. He will be tried at the ballot box in November, and you will go back to having the strongest border, even stronger than I gave you, but we'll take that too. Your vote, you will be judged and convicted by the American people for this atrocity that he's done. Nobody can believe what's happened. Under the Trump administration, we ended catch and release. Remember catch and release? You know what release is? We release them into our country, criminals. What do? I murdered someone. He comes from the jail. We release them into our country. We got Mexico to send 28,000 troops. Remember this, 28,000 troops. And you think that was easy, don't you? It wasn't easy. I had to tell the president of Mexico, we want you to send us 28,000 troops. He said, you have to be kidding. You know, he's a very smart guy. Actually, he's a great guy. I like him. He's a socialist, but that's okay. He can't have everything, but no, he's a great guy. He said, I'm not going to send you 28,000. Why would I send you 28,000? Which is what anybody here would say. I said, no, you will. 100% sure you will. So he said, I'm not sending troops. I said, you will. Send me your rep. I don't want to get into an argument with you. I like you too much. Send me your top negotiator. And he sent this very handsome guy. And he actually came into New York. And I met him in New York. Can you believe that? And we met during the United Nations. And I said, we need 28,000 soldiers. We need remain in Mexico. We need catch and release in Mexico. This is now catch and release in Mexico. There's a little difference, right? Not catch and release in the USA. But I went to the Border Patrol, Brandon Judd, fantastic. I went to Tom Homan separately. I went to a whole group of incredible patriots. And I said, give me the top 10 things. And I was dealing with a woman from the State Department who was a very quality woman, but a lousy negotiator. And she said she was there 24 years. And she said, I worked in Mexico for 24 years, so you're not going to get any of these things. I said, give me a top 10 list. Top 10. Give me 10 things you want. I'll get every one of them. Sir, you won't. And they gave me a top 10 list. Brandon Judd, all the guys, they know exactly. They gave me that 10. And I put it down, and I said, I'll get every one of these things. And then he came in, the gentleman came in, tall, handsome, obviously from Mexico. I said, where did you buy your suits? I love your suit. Where did you buy it? I said, I'm going to that shop right away. I think it's beautiful. And I said, how much did you pay for your suit? He said, now let's get down to business. We want you to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. He said, oh, you shut it. We're not going to do that. Why the hell, sir? Why would we do that? I want to be respectful, sir, but we wouldn't even think about it. Yes, you will, 100%. He said, you will. He said, no way. I said, way. And I said, I want you to have a policy now I'm going to institute. It's called Remain in Mexico. They had to agree to it. They said, we're not going to let you. You took about hundreds of thousands of people. I said, maybe millions, because the way they're coming up in the caravans. A name I came up with, by the way, I'm very proud of that name. I came up with fake news. Look at all the fake news back there. Remain in Mexico policy. Nobody's even heard of that. Remain in, it sounds nice, right? Not not remain in the USA, remain in Mexico until they can be vetted, which might take about 3 years. And I said, remain in Mexico. I want catch and release in Mexico, and I wanted other Title 42. I wanted Title 42 to keep people that had big problems out. I wanted the policy where we bring children back to their parents, wherever they may be, and we have that choice. I said, listen, you're saying no to everything, right? Yep. Here's the story. These 10 things, I want them. I'm going to give you one last chance. We can't do it, sir. We just can't. I said, here's the story. It's Friday at 4 o'clock on Monday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. Every single item, especially the cars that you stole out of the USA to manufacture them in Mexico, every single thing that comes into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff. And in 2 weeks, if you don't approve it, in 2 weeks the 25 goes to 50%. Every single item. So we want 28,000 soldiers. We want remain in Mexico. We want catch and release in Mexico. We want all of these things. I gave him 5 other things which were almost as bad. And he said, sir, may I have 5 minutes to make a phone call? I said, you're going to call the president? Yes, I am. He calls the president. He comes back in about 2 minutes. Sir, it would be our great honor to supply the United States. And that was how I got all that stuff. And then Biden comes in, the first week he let it all go. Just, you know, you've seen a lot of him at the beach. We all have consultants. The thing is, I don't listen to mine enough. I should listen. But we've been right about almost everything. Did you ever see that? Trump is right about everything. I hope I'm not right about World War III, because you're very close to World War III. I'm not predicting it, but I'm saying you're very close. We have a man negotiating for us who can't put 2 sentences together. He can't see the stage. He can't find the stairs to get up the stairs. And I'm not going to imitate him, because every time I imitate him, they say he couldn't find his way.
Imitate him! Imitate him! Do it!
2 weeks ago, I did one of the greatest imitations. I imitated him when he finishes the stage. His speeches last for about 3 minutes because, you know, his gasoline sort of runs out. It's a little bit like an electric car, isn't it? It doesn't go fast. It doesn't go fast. No, but he finished his speech and I did this great imitation. You know, he always points like, and then he walks in a different direction. But I did it. He goes like, Secret Service agent, one of these handsome guys, the Secret Service is great. They run up on stage and they pretend like everything's normal. Oh, right over here, sir. Right over here. No, he's negotiating with Putin and with Kim Jong-un. I mean, think of it. He's negotiating with President Xi of China. Think of it. Kim Jong-un, North Korea, he's negotiating. I did a good job with Kim Jong-un. But we were very safe when I was the president. You're not safe now. But you're very close to a third world war. And you know, the bombs are starting to drop all over the Middle East again. You see that, right? And all those things can be fixed to our benefit with strength. To our benefit with strength. And Israel would have never happened. And Ukraine would have never happened. There wouldn't have been an attack on Israel. There wouldn't have been an attack on Ukraine. And we wouldn't have had any inflation. Inflation was caused by energy, by fuel, by oil going to $100 and $110 a barrel. But our border was perfect. But remember this, so I did the imitation. And the next day, all over television, see Trump get off. He can't get off the stage either. Then they said, we don't like these 81, 82-year-old people. I said, I'm 77. 5 years is age. On the other side, 81, they say like we're not the same age. But you know what? I know guys. I know one man who became a billionaire. He was sort of not a loser, he was a very smart guy, but his whole life he never was able to make money. On his 80th birthday, he made a deal, and he became a billionaire from 80 to 90. And to this day, he's very sharp. He was sharper, and he told me he felt stronger and smarter. I'll tell you what, I feel sharper now than I did 20 years ago. And I think anybody running for president should take an aptitude or a cognitive test.
Absolutely.
And I took one in office. Remember, they were saying, first they said, this guy is brilliant, he wants to take over the world. He wants to take, that didn't work. Then they went to about 4 different scenarios. Then they said, he wants total control of the United States. He's never going to give up control. He's totally brilliant. Then they went to a different one. That didn't work too much. That didn't scare people. Then they said, he's dumb as a rock. He's dumb as a rock. I said, oh, that one I don't like. So I said to Doc Ronnie, do you know Doc Ronnie? From Texas, the White House doctor. Doc Ronnie, he's a great doc. He's a doctor, White House doctor for Obama. To Trump. He was Obama. And they asked him, who's in better health? Who's more physically fit? You know what he said? Trump. I'll endorse that guy. He said Trump would live to 200 years old if he wouldn't eat so much junk food. Dr. Ronnie Jackson. So he was an admiral, a doctor, White House doctor. Now he's a great congressman from Texas. And I said to him, you know, Ronnie, I'd like to take a cognitive test. I never heard of it before, but whatever. I like tests. I've always liked tests. Tests are very interesting. And tests. And I don't know. Dr. John Trump. In the history of MIT, same genes. We have genes. We're smart people. We're like Mr. Lieutenant Governor. We're like racehorses too. You know, the fast ones produce the fast ones, and the slow ones doesn't work out so well, right? We're no different in that sense. But I said, so what do you think, Ron? He said, well, you're going to take it. The thing is, it's a very public test because we're doing it at a great hospital, Walter Reed, a great hospital. They have incredible doctors. I said, is it tough? He said, yeah, it's a tough test. The first couple of questions are easy, like they'll have a lion, a giraffe, a whale, and a shark. And they'll say, which one's the lion, okay? And that's all the press covered, the first question. They didn't cover the last question. Multiply 4,733. Multiply times 7. Divide, without paper and pencil, by the way. Divided by 4. Add up another 37 and a half, 0.5. I remember that. And what's your number? How many people in this room could do it? Not too many. Or they give you 6 names in a row. I took a lot of heat on this. They give you 6 names in a row at the beginning. Sir, they give you 6 names. Good. They look at them. A chair, a hat, a badge, a necklace, and they vote. Those things. We're going to give you 6 things. And I said, good, what's going on? Can you rename them? So name them. Then they go back, and if you can do it in order, that's even better. I do them in order? Perfect. Then they come back to you 30 minutes later at the end, last question. They say, what were those 6 things? And there aren't too many people. And they laughed, everyone said, oh, that's so easy. There's only about 2% of this room can do it, but I did it. I did it very easily, but I got Go home and try to do it. Team of doctors. He said, the bad thing is if you do poorly, sir, it's going to get out. I said, will it get out if I do well? Yeah, but not nearly as much. That's not what the fake news wants. So I aced it. And then recently I took another one because I had my physical exam, which worked out very nicely. I feel I have an obligation to take a physical exam. Excellent exam. I took a cognitive test, excellent. And I would challenge most of the people running to cognitive tests because most of them couldn't come anywhere close. And you have to be able to do that. Because these people are people of misinformation and disinformation, and you have to be able, but I really believe it's important. I don't know, they say it's not constitutional. I don't know why. So they say it's not constitutional to take an aptitude or cognitive test. But I think anybody running for president, that includes vice president, and maybe even some other positions, I think taking certain tests, cognitive tests, aptitude tests, I think that would be a good thing, personally. I think, not based on age. I don't care if you're 35 years old. But we want intelligent people. Now, that's not a pure sign of intelligence, but we want people that are intelligent. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to say, that's my thing. I don't know if the fake news is going to report it, but I think everybody running for president and vice president should take a cognitive test. It's amazing how many people with talent. So now Biden is trying to guess. How do you think he's doing the test? He might not get that first question right. So now Biden is trying to gaslight the American public by claiming that his border disaster is Republicans' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. Look at these great people, all big shot politicians. It's your fault. Even though we had the safest border, the best border in history 3 years ago, he's actually trying to blame us for the border. And I think it's just disgraceful. And that's what they do. They're a party of disinformation. They will take something, and they feel if you say it over and over and over again, people will start to believe it. This is purely set up by Democrats, and I think they're trying to get out. Medical? Okay? Yeah, medical. Are they okay? Yeah. Please, go ahead. Doctor in the house, thank you. Thank you. I love those people. You know, they're waiting outside for 10 hours, 12 hours. I love you, darling. Thank you very much. Thank you. We take care of everybody, but we take care of ourselves. You see, if this were the State of the Union address, I wouldn't do that because it's got to be this way. You can't say, oh, but we're all very good friends. We love each other. It's very hot outside. Right, Robin?
Thank you, Trump!
Joe Biden made a State of the Union last year. It was the worst speech I think I've ever seen. And I listened to MSDNC and CNN, and they said, this had shades of FDR. I said, you can't. You know, FDR was a very good speaker, very elegant speaker. You can't drag his feet through the sand. It doesn't work real well. Remember what he said, I'd like to take him behind the barn. Remember? And they all thought the fake news said, isn't that nice? Isn't that cute? Oh, that was such a cute. Supposing I said that about him, I'd like to take him behind the barn and give him a shot. They'd say, he's a fascist. He's a fascist. They would call me a fascist. With him, he could say it. They thought it was so cute. I remember when he said that. And you know what would happen if he took me behind the barn? I'd go like this. It would happen very fast. It would be over very fast. But they called me a fascist when I suggested it. Every day, Biden's extremist open borders agenda is destroying innocent lives. Last month in Texas, a savage illegal alien monster was charged with brutally murdering a 16-year-old Texas high school cheerleader, murderer, stabbing her 19 times and leaving her body in a bathtub. He was let into our country illegally. And the crime is rampant, by the way.
And the fentanyl.
In New York, in the Roosevelt Hotel, they say they're fighting everybody, including themselves. They're beating the hell out of each other. This is a rough group of people we're living in. Many of them are very rough people. These are not babies. Again, they come from prisons and jails, right? They come from mental institutions. And I'm the victim of it, but that's okay. I'm the victim of it, and it's my great honor. Because you're finding out they're doing things to me that has never happened, and here I am, and we're leading in every poll. So the closer we do, and the better we do, the more dramatic they become. Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He is for a lot of reasons. Number one, he's incompetent. That's a threat to democracy. You know, incompetence is a gross threat to democracy. But he is a real threat. What they're doing with elections and election interference, as an example, what they do with me. Look at yesterday. Look at all this crap that's going on. But we keep marching forward. We just keep going. And somehow, people say, how do you do it, sir? How do you do it? I get two questions. If you had it to do again, would you do it? Because, you know, in history, they say the president that was treated the worst was Abraham Lincoln, but he had the Civil War, you know, so he had a little Civil War going. Abraham Lincoln. And Jackson was treated very badly, and a couple of others were treated. Andrew Jackson, he was treated very badly, and a few others. And I haven't seen the new list, but if I'm not number one over Abraham Lincoln, the policies can't work. This is the only way they think they can win. Because we have strong borders, we have strong elections. We have to, if you don't have borders and elections, you don't have a country.
That's right.
And we have strong borders, and we're going to have very strong elections. In the general election, well, you saw the ones that came out today. 1 at 6, 1 at 7, 1 at 8, and 1 at 11 in the swing states. Well, Nikki Haley, have you ever heard of her? She's still campaigning. She's just endorsed by Liz Cheney.
Yes.
Liz Cheney.
Liz Cheney ever endorsed me? I said, no, I don't want it. And there's a comparison graphic that they're going to put up on the screen, which is sort of interesting, but we're beating everybody. We're beating her by a lot, but we're beating Biden. She can't beat Biden. The polls are showing, the most recent polls, because she doesn't have Republican support. You know what she doesn't have? She doesn't have MAGA.
There you go.
Raising the retirement age of Social Security to, think of this, about 77, about 10 years, 12 years. Anybody in their 60s or 70s, would you like to say, I'm just about there, darling? You're 62 years old. I'm just about there, darling, but I see Nikki Haley wants to make it 10 years longer. Despite being completely unelectable, and I believe she's unelectable, Nikki is she's got a continuing plan and a shameless radical left craziness, because she's basically a Democrat. She's almost a radical left Democrat, which is hard to win elections like that, but it's like they use certain things as like a Trojan horse in the Republican primaries. Haley made a corrupt deal to sell out to the radical left, taking the Democrat money from donors and recruited all the votes. In the primaries that you just saw, she got killed. They said, what about the St. Voters? I said, no, I put that into retirement. But Ron DeSantis came in second. He didn't come. She came in third, a distant third. And he got out, and then she went to New Hampshire, and she got slaughtered in New Hampshire, even though she had a lot of Democrats voting for her. Because in New Hampshire, they allowed Democrats and independents to vote. I said, this could be a little tough. And we still won that. And every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor, because I'm being indicted for you. I am being indicted for you. Look at this. Al Capone. I got indicted 4 times. This was not in my books, you know. I went to the Wharton School of Finance. They didn't teach indictment 101. I got indicted 4 times. Al Capone, the meanest of all, Scarface. They used to call him Scarface. Alphonse Capone. Al Capone, the great gangster. He was indicted less than me. I wonder what my parents looking down saying, son, we're so proud of you. Never forget our enemies want to take away my freedom, because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. That's what they want. That's the game. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in the way. Here I am. Had a good time. You get indicted because, you know, one of the indictments, he fought the election. Yeah, the election was rigged. Of course they fired him. By the way, you still have them fighting the 2016 election. I think every Democrat, congressman, and senator fought the 2016. It's okay for them, but if we fight it, but we actually caught it. And it was rigged, and it was stolen. Did you see what Biden, 2 days ago, said, I want to see the real governor of Virginia. In other words, he said the election was rigged and stolen. Is he going to be indicted for that? What do you think, Robert? I don't know people that are great leaders in your state. A man who's done a fantastic job as Lieutenant Governor, Stavros Anthony. Republican National Committee woman, Sigal Chatal. Clark County Chairman Jesse Law. Will you make sure they don't cheat in Clark County? I'm putting you in here. And we had a lot of problems with Clark County last time. Thank you. I appreciate it. Esmeralda County Chairwoman Teresa Barnes. Thank you. Teresa Barnes. State Senator Jeff Stone. Good guy, too. Good guy. Thank you, Jeff. Good guy. Nevada Assembly members Richard MacArthur, Greg Hafen, Toby Yorick. Thank you, guys. And a lot of power in this room. We got a lot of power in this 100-degree room. You know, the fact is sometimes it's 100, 110 degrees, sometimes in some of these buildings weren't built for this, right? Nope. And if I'm a little bit wet, they say, oh, he was sweating. I don't think that too many people up here that would be sweating. Not too many people can speak the first paragraph. But you know what? It's great, and the people are getting very close to getting in now. I hope they haven't missed too much. U.S. Senate candidates, really good people. Ambassador Jeffrey Gunter. Jeffrey. These are three great candidates. Sam Brown and Amy is fantastic. Right? Sam Brown. Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. It's going to be a very good race, and we'll see what happens, but it's going to be great. And Jim Marchand. Thank you, Jim, very much. Jesus Marquez is the American Christian Caucus leader. Jesus, thank you very much. And Wayne Allen Root, he's something. Wayne Allen Root, I think he's back there with the big thing. And a guy who I just happen to love. You know, I used to be a Democrat. I used to watch him on Sean Hannity as a Democrat. And somehow he flipped. I don't know if he's a Republican, actually. I'm not sure. I don't think he is. But he is a Trump guy. That I know. Leo 2.0. You want to get out of this television business, Leo? Former acting Attorney General of the United States, Matt Whitaker. The warrior, Cash Patel, a warrior. And one of our big television stars, and you know who he is, he's been to a lot of rallies, and he had a tragedy this week. His son passed away. Fentanyl. And he is a fantastic person and a great television personality, but your boy is up there looking down on you, Rick Harrison, he's looking down on you. It's not an easy game to fentanyl. Very special guy. One of the best developers you'll ever see. He's big. He's rich, but he's a high-quality man, builds some of the most beautiful things you'll ever look at. Robert Bigelow. Robert? And another tremendous businessman, he just sold his company for like $3 billion. He's very solid. He's very liquid. But he has done a fantastic job and he loves this area. This is where he grew up. He was born here. He's built here. He's done a fantastic job. Don Ahern.
Supercon!
I love you too. You've done a hell of a job. So our top phone call volunteer, these are the people, Don, I have to introduce. This person made 114,000 phone calls. Rose Worrell. She's made like hundreds of thousands. Where's Rose? Right there, Rose. We love you. Joe Biden, I believe we're going to have the greatest 4 years in our country's If I wasn't running, or if I was in 4th place, 5th place, 7th place, we started off with 12. Sort of reminds me of 2016. We started off with 18, including me, and then week by week, boom, boom. It was like chopping down a tree. Boom, what a great feeling. Boom, boom, boom. We started off with 11. The first few fell off fast, and then they got a little bit tougher. Bum, bum, bum. And now we're down to 1, and she's not doing too well. She's in South Carolina, and I'm leading by 78 points.
Her home state.
But I wouldn't do this. You know, if I didn't think we could do a great job, because we had among the greatest 4-year periods in the history of the presidency. You know, we really, think of the thing. We cut your taxes more than the Reagan tax cuts. #1 biggest tax cut, #1 biggest regulation cut in history, which is even, frankly, for the business people, more important. It employed so many. We had the greatest economy in history.
And there he goes. President Trump leaving. There he goes. Well, thank you so much for coming on this vlog. I hope you guys had a great time. As always, I enjoy bringing them to you. It was a very exciting day at the Trump rally, that is for sure. Afterwards, I got to go to the Royal Rumble watch party down at the Nerd. That was also a fun and exciting time. I did not win in the Royal Rumble pool. However, that being said, it is a fun and exhausting day, that is for sure, and I am glad to be home. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. You can take it one step further and ring that notification bell. It keeps you up to date on all the future adventures we'll be going on our channel. Give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me and YouTube know that you care. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, top vloggers, out.